So you just check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. The warehouse requirement value and factory value, it is 9 and 6. 6 is lesser than 9. So how to find the Vogels approximation method? What is the first step? We have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. So I am adding one dummy row because supply value is less than demand value. Hello everyone, welcome back to my new session. I am Shweta, Computer Science Faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Mysuru. In my last session, I have discussed Vogels approximation unbalanced problem. So my dear students, already I have completed transportation problem. We have three methods in transportation problem, that is northwest corner method, least cost method and Vogels approximation method. Today I will discuss the problems on transportation method. In one session, I will explain all the methods called northwest, least cost and Vogels approximation. Today I am giving the revision on transportation method. In one session, I will explain all the three methods called northwest corner, least cost method and Vogels approximation method. Today I am solving the question paper problem. Please practice these problems. Definitely you can expect one question on this topic. You can expect northwest corner or least cost or Vogels approximation. So again I am explaining in one session. I will complete all the three methods. Let's get started now. This question is last year paper question. Please practice this. Find the initial basic feasible solution of the following transportation problem using northwest corner method. So how to find the northwest corner method? So what is the first step? First you have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. So how to find it is balanced problem or unbalanced problem? We have some requirements here. Warehouse W1, W2, W3 and W4 and factory charges we have, and warehouse requirement 5, 8, 7, 14. These are the demand and supply values. Add all the demand and supply value here. So 7, 9 is 16, 16 plus 18 is 34 and 5, 8 is 13, 13 plus 7, 20, 20 plus 14 is 34. Is it balanced? Yes, it is a balanced problem. It is a balanced problem. You can proceed. So what is the next step in northwest corner method? You have to select the north corner cell. So which is a north corner cell here? I mean left corner cell. Here out of this variable, except this warehouse requirement and factory requirement, you can select only this variable called row 1, row 2, row 3. You have to select first row, second row, third row value and first 4 columns value. So out of this, which is a north cell here, north corner cell, I mean left corner value is 19. So in northwest corner method, you have to select the north corner cell. North corner cell is 19. I will consider this 19 is a north corner cell. You just check the warehouse requirement value and factory value. So 5 is lesser than 7. I will allocate 5 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and you can cancel this entire column. And 7 minus 5 is, it is 2. And the next corner value, except this column, you can consider these 3 rows and columns. So here the next north corner cell is 30. You just check the warehouse requirement and factory requirement. So here we have 2 and 8. 2 is less than 8. So I will allocate 2 rupees to this cell and it will become 0 and you can cancel this entire row. And what is 8 minus 2? It is 6. And except this cancelled row and column, you can consider these 3 columns and 2 rows values. So now the north corner cell is 30. 30 is my north corner cell. You just check the warehouse requirement value and factory value. It is 9 and 6. 6 is lesser than 9. I will allocate 6 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. And what is 9 minus 6? It is 3. And the next step, so now we have 2 rows and 2 columns. So which is a north corner cell now? So this is my north corner cell. I will consider this cell. So here I have 7 and 3. 3 is lesser than 7. I will allocate 3 rupees to this cell and it will become 0, and you can cancel this entire column, and 7 minus 3 is 4. And we have 1 row and 2 columns. So here the north cell, here left corner cell and north cell is 70. You just check the warehouse requirement value and factory value. It is 18 and 4. So 4 is lesser than 18. I will allocate 4 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. And 18 minus 4 is 14. So now we have last digit. It is 20. It is my north corner cell. Now you just check the factory value and warehouse requirement value. Both the values should be same. So here we have 14 and 14. So I will allocate 14 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and it will become 0. Now all the cancellation has done. So what is the next step? So you have to check whether it is degenerate or non-degenerate. So m plus n minus 1. Number of rows is 1, 2, 3 plus number of columns, it is 4. 7 minus 1 is 6. Now how to check whether it is non-degenerate or degenerate? You just check the allocated cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 allocated cells and we got 6 here. Number of rows and number of columns minus 1 is equal to 6, and allocated cells also 6. So 6 is equal to 6. It is non-degenerate. Now you can find the minimum transportation cost. What is the purpose of this transportation problem? So you can find the total, you can find the minimum transportation cost. So here I will find the minimum transportation cost. Transportation cost is equal to, you just consider all the allocated cells, 19 into 5 plus 30 into 2 plus 30 into 6 plus 40 into 3 plus 70 into 4 plus 20 into 14. So now I have written all the allocated cells. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 allocated cells. Now add these values, you will get the total transportation cost. So total transportation cost is 1015 rupees. 1015 rupees is a total transportation cost. So with the help of this northwest corner method, we got the value of transportation cost. So this is about your northwest corner method. First you select the north cell, north corner cell or left corner cell, then you can implement this. And then finally you just consider all the allocated cells and find out the total transportation cost. And next question paper problem is, solve the following transportation problem using Vogels' approximation method. Vogels' approximation method. So here you have to find the transportation cost with the help of Vogels' approximation method. So how to find the Vogels' approximation method? What is the first step? We have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. The first method is add all the supply value and demand value. Add this value 34 plus 15 plus 12 plus 19, it is 80, and 17 plus 17, 25 plus 21 is 80. So it is a balanced problem. It is a balanced problem. So you can proceed. So I will explain it here. So it is a balanced problem. So what is the first step in Vogels approximation? You have to check the row difference and column difference. Row difference and column difference. So I will check for row difference and column difference. So here, how to check the row difference? You just consider the first row value here. In the first row, accept this supply and demand value, which is the least cost, least value is 3. So second least value is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. And in second row, least value is 5. Second least value is 6. 5 and 6 difference is 1. And in the third row, least value is 5. Second least value is 6. Difference is 1. In fourth row, least value 1, next least value 4, 4 and 1 difference is 3. And in column difference, least value is 5 and the next least value is 6, difference is 1. And in the next column, least value 1 and second least value 3, 3 and 1 difference is 2. In the third column, least value 5 and 6, difference 1. In fourth column, least value 5 and 4, difference is 1. So now you just consider the highest penalty cost for finding the minimum value. Consider the highest penalty cost in row difference and column difference. So here 3 is the highest value. So I will consider 3. It comes under this row. I will take the minimum cost in fourth row. So here out of these variables, minimum value is 1. So you just check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 19 rupees to this cell and it will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. 25 minus 19 is 6. Again, find out row difference and column difference except this row. So now I will find the second row difference. So least value is 3 and 5, difference 2. Least value 5 and 6, difference 1. Least value 5 and 6, difference 1. Then least value is 5 and 7, least value 2. In first column, least value 5 and 7, difference is 2. In second column, least value 3 and 5, difference 2. In third column, difference is 1. In fourth column, difference is 1. So now again I will take the highest penalty cost. We have 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. We have same values. You can consider any values. So I will take this row. This highest penalty cost comes under this first row. In first row, least value is 3. You just check the supply value and demand values. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 6 and it will become 0. You can cancel this column. So now 34 minus 6 is 28. Except this column, you can find out. Now in the first row, least value is 5 and the second least value is 5, difference is 0. In second row, least value 5 and 6, difference 1. In third row, least value is 6 and 5, difference 1. And column difference, 5 and 7 is least value, difference is 2. And again 5 and 6, difference 1. Again 5 and 5, difference 0. And just check the highest penalty cost. Highest penalty value is 2. 2 comes under first column. In first column, least value is 5. Just check the value of demand and supply. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 15 rupees here. So it will become 0 and you can cancel this entire column. So then 21 minus 15 is 6. And now except this row, you can find out remaining value. In the first row, 5 minus 5 is 0 and in third row 6 minus 5 is 1 and again column difference 7 and 8 difference 1 and third column 5 and 6 difference 1 and again 5 minus 5 it is 0. So highest penalty cost is 1. You can select any one. So I will select this row. This one highest penalty cost comes under the third row. Here the least value is 5. I will consider this is the least value. So here you just check the supply value and demand value. 12 is allocated to this cell. So it will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. So 17 minus 12 is 5. So now finally we have 3 digits. You can consider the least value here. I will take 5 as the least value. You just check the supply value and demand value. I will allocate 17 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. And 28 minus 17 is 11. And you can cancel this. And the next least value is 5. So I will allocate 5 rupees to this cell. So it will become 0. I will cancel this. 11 minus 5 is 6. So finally we have one more digit, that is 7 is the last digit. You just check the supply value and demand value. Both the values are same. So here we have 6 and in supply also we have 6. So I will allocate 6 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and it will become 0. You can cancel this 7 also. So now all the cancellation has done. So what is the next step? You can find whether it is non-degenerate or not. Fine. So number of rows is 1, 2, 3, 4. Columns also 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 plus 4 is equal to 8 minus 1 is 7. Just check the allocated cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 7 is equal to 7. We got the same value, so it is non-degenerate. Now find out total transportation cost using Vogels approximation method. How to find the total transportation cost? Just consider all the allocated cells. 7 into 6 plus 3 into 6 plus 5 into 17 plus 5 into 5 plus 5 into 15 plus 5 into 12. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and one more 1 into 19. We have 7 allocated cells. You can find the transportation cost here. So total transportation cost is 324. So this is your Vogels approximation method. Please practice the problem. So definitely you can score in Vogels approximation and least cost method and northwest corner method also. And the next problem, solve the following to obtain initial basic feasible solution using least cost method. So what is the first step for finding the least cost method? Just check whether it is balanced problem or unbalanced. Add all the supply values and demand value. Add all the supply values 200, 175 and 75, it is 450. And add all the demand values 250 and 100, 350 plus 150 is 500. Is this balanced problem? No, it is not a balanced problem. It is unbalanced problem. Make it as a balanced by adding dummy row or dummy column according to the requirement. So here supply value is less than demand value. So what you should do is you need to add the dummy row because in supply value we have only 450. So here I will add 50 to the dummy row with 0 matrix 0, 0, 0 and 50 to the dummy row. I am adding dummy row to this 3 more rows. We have already 3 rows. I will add one more row here. So here I will add D and with 0 matrix and plus 50. So I am adding one dummy row because supply value is less than demand value. So I can add dummy row. If your supply value is greater than demand value means you need to add one dummy column. Otherwise your problem is wrong because it is not balanced means you need to make it as a balanced by adding dummy row and dummy column. So in this problem, have added one dummy row because in supply we have 450 and 500. So now it is balance problem. You can cross check this. 200, 175 and 75 is 450. 450 plus 50 is 500. And 250, 100 and 150 is 500. So now it is a balanced problem. So in the next step, you have to select the least value. Why we have to select the least value? Because it is a least cost method. In transportation method, we have already solved least cost and Vogels method and northwest corner method. So in least cost method, you have to select the least value. So here, except this supply and demand value, which is the least value? Least value is 0. We have 3 zeros here. Out of these 3 zeros, you can consider any zeros. I have 3 zeros. I will take this first 0. First 0 is the least value. Now, you just check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is 50 and demand value is 250. So, I will add 50 rupees to this cell. So, it will become 0 and 250 minus 50 is, we will get 200 in demand. So, if it is 0 means you can cancel this entire column also. If your supply value is 0 or if your demand value is 0, you can cancel this entire row. So, this problem here you have to find the feasible solution, initial basic feasible solution by using least cost method. In least cost method, you have to select the least value out of these variables. So, what is the first step? You have to check whether it is balanced problem or unbalanced. Here, add all the supply values and demand value. Supply value 200, 175 and 75, it is 450, and add all the demand values 250, 100 and 150, it is 500. Is this balanced? No, it is not a balanced problem. You just make it as a balance by adding dummy row or dummy column according to the requirements. So, here supply value is less than demand value. What you should do is you need to add the dummy row because supply value is less than demand value. So, in next step I will add all the supply values. So, here I am adding one dummy row because supply value is lesser than the demand value in the last step. So, now it is a balanced problem. You can cross verify this 200, 175 and 75 plus 50, it is 500, and 250, 100 and 150, it is also 500. Now, it is a balanced problem. Now, you can proceed. So, in least cost method, you have to select the least value. So, out of these variables, except this supply value and demand value, take one least value here. So, which is the least value? 0 is my least value. We have 3 zeros here. You can consider any zeros. So, I will consider this is my least value. You just check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 50 rupees to this cell and it will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire row. 250 minus 50 is 200. And in the next step, again you consider the least value. The least value is 4. So, 4 is the least value. I will consider this cell. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 100 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and you can cancel this entire column, and 200 minus 100 is 100. In supply, we have 100 rupees. And the next step, again consider the least value. Here we have 2 6, 6 and 6. You can consider any 6 here. I will take this first 6. You just check the demand value and supply value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. So, it will become 0. You can cancel this entire row also. And 200 minus 100 is, it is 100. And in the next step, again consider the least value. Least value is 6. So now check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. It is 75. It will become 0. You can cancel this entire row. 150 minus 75 is 75. So still we have two more digits, 8 and 10. Which is the least value? Least value is 8. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 75 rupees to this cell, and now it will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. And 175 minus 75 is, it is 100. So finally we have last digit called 10. 10 is the last digit. So least value is also 10. You just check the supply value and demand value. Both the values should be same. So in demand value we have 100 and in supply value also 100. So it is 100. So I am allocating 100 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and will also become 0. You can cancel this last digit also. So now all the cancellation has done. So what is the next step? So next step is you have to find whether it is non-degenerate or generate. M plus n minus 1. Number of rows is 1, 2, 3, 4 and number of columns is 3. 4 plus 3 minus 1 is 6. You just check the allocated cell values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 allocated cell, so it is equal. If it is equal means it is non-degenerate. And the next step, we have to find the total transportation cost. So how to find the transportation cost? Just consider all the allocated cell. It is 6 into 100 plus 4 into 100 plus 10 into 100 and 8 into 75 plus 6 into 75 plus 0 into 50. 0 into 50 is 0. So except this, you can add all this value. So what is the total transportation cost? Add all the values, you will get the total transportation cost. So total transportation cost is 3050 rupees. So here, using this least cost method, we got 3050 rupees. You can try this problem for northwest corner and Vogels approximation method also. So already in my last session I have discussed about Vogels approximation method. So out of these three methods, Vogels approximation method will give the best results. It will show the minimum total transportation cost. So here in today's session you learnt all the basics of Vogels approximation, northwest corner and least cost method. These three are the types of transportation problem. So very important concept and very interesting concept. Definitely you can score on this topic. So this is very important chapter for 7 marks. In this chapter you can expect 7 marks by using northwest corner, least cost method and Vogels approximation method. With this we have end of this transportation method. In my next session I will come with a new concept called assignment problem with Hungarian method. Thank you.